All right. Hello, everybody. This is Battlekeeper, and I just want to do a quick demonstration of one of the mods I've been working on for the past day or so, maybe day and a half, uh, and show it off. Any extra info from what I don't go over here should be able to be found in the description of the mod. The link to that mod can be found in the description of this video. Uh, that description includes a little bit of usage data. That I collected. I just did a few like 4 tests with the mod loaded and tested out kind of what performance was like for me, but performance may vary for everyone else depending on the mission and obviously the specs of your computer. But this mod does aim to improve your performance. So I'm going to come over here. In this mission I have now, about 400 AI spawned in. I'm actually running on my private server, so this is not single player. I have about 400 AI spawned in all around me. I'm in the town of Anthera. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see that in the video, but I'm getting about 26, 23, 25, about average of 25 FPS with these 400 AI. And I have the mod toggled off. So to toggle the mod, by default, the keybind is U. So I'll press that. You can see that it's toggled on. And my FPS has now gone up to about 39. It's holding steady. Now it's at 40. So now I'm getting about 40 FPS with the mod toggled on. So what this mod does is it hides AI and weapons that you won't be able to see. So if I come over to this guy here, I can see him, and even if I look at this wall, I I can't see them. It's from the first person perspective. So third person will not work with this mod. I mean, you can go in third person. It just is going to be a little weird. The reason he's not getting hidden is because he's within 10 meters of my player. So anyone within 10 meters of the player or your player here will automatically be visible. That way, when you're clearing a building, there's no delay when you're opening it that they're going to become visible. To actually show you what that looks like, if I come down here, around this corner, you can see that there's nobody spawned in. On the far left of the screen, you won't see any AI. If I actually come out, I've slowed this down so you can see them spawn in. Normally, it's about instant, so you won't see the transition of them all becoming visible, but you can see they all spawn in. So, like, if I go into first person here, I can see that guy, but, like, down the rest of the street from first person, I can no longer see the players that are, or the AI units that are on the other side of this wall. But if I even just peek out, you can see that they pop in and out of visibility. So that's how this mod works, and I can show you that if I just come back over to this guy, the 10-meter example. Like right now, let's see. If I go out of view of him and I get 10 meters away, I cannot see him. I gotta come over here, and then if I tilt, I can see him. And then I can't, and he's actually doing like a weird animation, so it'll pop in and out. But I can and can't see him from where I am. But if I actually was to get closer, like now, if I come over here where I can't see him, he's actually still there and still visible, just to help when clearing buildings, that they don't just pop into view out of nowhere. And then a few notes with this mod. You can also toggle it off with you, by the way, just toggle on and off. When you're in Zeus, you can see that there are no AI units. You actually have to turn it off when in Zeus, or when like controlling a UAV, or like in a camera. Like if you're flying the A10 and using the A10 camera, you should turn it off so that way you have a chance of seeing everything and it's not doing just rendering what the camera can see. There should be a fix for this type of stuff in the future, but I'll have to mess around with it on my own a little bit and see what I can come up with. But in the current state, when you're in Zeus or like in a camera of a vehicle and stuff like that, it's best to turn it off. You really should only have it on when you're moving around on foot to improve your performance in the cities. But it can be turned on. Just notice that some AI you won't be able to see. This mod also hides weapons, so that one right there is actually not going to be hidden, so I'll just remove that. If I place this weapon over here, and I come in this building, this follows the same rule, so you can see I'm within 10 meters of that weapon, so even though that I'm looking at this wall, it's still visible. If I actually back up, you can see that that weapon is no longer visible until I pop out. So you can see now that I'm 10 meters away from it, it will pop in and out of existence. If the weapon is in a building, just for some weird Arma physics that are just annoying, if it's in a building, it will always be rendered no matter what. Like, I can back up. It's going to be hard to see because that weapon's small. But right now, I can't see that weapon from first person, but if you look closely, you can still see that it's in there. So if it's in a building, it will always be visible no matter what. So let me pick these back up. The way this mod works, like I said, is by hiding them. All the calculations for, like, can I see that unit? So, like, drawing a line between me and that guy and checking to see if I'm able to see him, is done on the server. So note that your server needs to be fast. It doesn't need to be top of the line. I'm running on a top of the line server, but it doesn't need to be insane. It just keep in mind that your server may have a performance hit. Another thing to keep in mind, all the rest of the stuff, by the way, is on the Steam Workshop. Another thing to keep in mind is that if your server FPS is low, that can affect it. The amount of players can affect it, but overall, make sure your server is okay. It's bad enough that players get when players have bad performance, but it's even worse when the server has bad performance because players are going to see those issues and it's just not great. So if your server can't handle it, just don't run the mod at all. I want to make sure that's clear. If your server can't handle it, don't run the mod. To check if your server can handle it, log in as admin with hashtag login and then do hashtag monitor. And then to set it to 1, you can see my server FPS is 48, which is that's the highest it can be. You can't get more than 47, 48 FPS in Arma. It's really weird, but that's just the way it is. If you're seeing it about 25, you should kind of make sure that it's not doing the lag thing. Like I'm demonstrating it here, like with where they pop in, but you'll see that even with the official version of the mod where that isn't happening or shouldn't. You'll see that when you're like turning a corner, you'll see them pop in. If your FPS is low on the server or if there's like a ton of AI. So test it out, give it a go for yourself. If you have any questions, my contact info is in the description of the Steam Workshop mod, my Discord server and my actual Discord if you want to friend me and message me. Feel free. I'd love to fix problems with the mod, any bugs you find, and just help you set it up. In terms of setup, speaking of that, make sure the mod is on the server. Not all clients need to have it, but as long as the server has the mod, it should be okay. There won't be any weird things with that. You just need the server to have the mod and the players who want to use it. So, like, say, like, one of your guys in your group has the NASA supercomputer. Don't worry about him not having the mod. He doesn't need it, but like, make sure it's on the server for the players who do decide to use it. So this is a server side and client side mod. So keep that in mind when doing your setup. Otherwise, that's all I have. Like I said, contact me if you have any questions or report any bugs. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out the mod.